And we're live. Welcome everybody to episode 15 of RugRoast. We've got the legendary team with Chimpers joining us. So pretty pumped for today's show. Usually we're going through a lot of newer projects, but this is the second time we've gone through a well-established team with a lot of accomplishments under their belt already. So we'll do a little theme song and then we'll hop right into it. And while we're just enjoying these jams, if you guys want to like, retweet, share, comment, subscribe to the YouTube, then comment on that, and then we should be good. So all shares appreciated. Yeah, so that's kind of the toned down version. We had another song with like a full rap to it, and then some changes were made, and it didn't make sense anymore. So we just got a nice little beat that goes along with it. But Joey, Insight, Chimpers, welcome, boys.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a bit of a banger intro. I really liked that. It was a cool song.
Yeah, that was J6C6. He's an absolutely awesome musician. He made the GM show intro as well, and he just makes super dope music.
He's also laughing at himself in the Twitter Spaces, so give him a follow.
Oh, really? We'll give him a follow. The Rug Radio one's extremely catchy.
Yeah, everyone follow J6. He's the man. But yeah, welcome guys. It's awesome to have you on. I've been in the community, the Chimpers community, for a long time. I think 2160 is as well. Always been a fan since the beginning. Chimpers, dude, your art is my favorite pixel art.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's so good, man. So yeah, we love it. Love what you guys have been doing with the IP and stuff. But 2160. Any opening comments from you?
No, I mean, I hold one Chimpers near and dear to my heart, and he's been in the dojo ever since it was released. I have it since Mint, and I really enjoy the community. I think it's one of the best communities in the space. The art is super cool, and I love how you guys kind of continue to build and continue to offer people reasons to participate in the community, which you're starting to see as this kind of movement drags on, that there are those community and teams built to kind of deliver something like that, and then the rest of them are kind of just dropping off. So I love the experience of the dojo. I like the little mini experiences on the side that we go through. Can't wait for the next one. I was really actually upset. I was so close to winning one of the OSF Chimp collaborations, which I really would have loved to get my hands on. But yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. I think you'd have to be living under a rock in the NFT world if you don't know Chimpers, but if you guys want to go through and kind of introduce yourselves a little bit, that'd be great.
Who wants to go first?
You go first, Chimpers. You're the main man.
Right. Yeah, I'm Chimpers. I'm the artist behind Chimpers. I joined the space in February 2021, right pretty early, not like extremely early, but when the whole big bang happened and everyone started flowing in. And before that, I was doing graphic design in the gaming industry community, doing branding for big people, like stream assets and YouTube banners, thumbnails, logos, and it was all in pixel art. And then February 2021, that's when I started to check out the NFT space and create artworks, and eventually it led to starting Chimpers.
Yeah, I'm Insight. Obviously, people might know me as Timper's twin brother. So I joined similar time, 2021. I've always kind of been following what Timpers has been doing, like, just as like twin brothers, like whether it was YouTube, like the streaming, the phase competition, and then the NFT world. So I naturally was just observing and seeing what was going on over there. And at the time, I was we was both just actually getting ready to graduate from university, and I studied English language. So I thought, why not create a newsletter or some sort of like interview process on Twitter, set up an account. That's why I'm called Insight. I'm not like pretentious at all. I think I was just trying to create like a branded newsletter, NFT Insight. So that's how it came about. And yeah, kind of just getting involved there, interviewing creators. I think I interviewed OSF like really early on as well, which was cool. And it was just fun actually. Like there was a lot of people there building at the time, being able to chat to them, learn about the space, and yeah, that naturally led to me, you know, getting more involved with Timpers, the Boring Ape Chronicles, and then obviously Chimpers, which is at the moment today.
And I wonder if you'd have never started Chimpers and just carried on with your journalism. I mean, you blew up to like 30-odd thousand in a couple of months. You'd probably be like,
I think I winged it. Yeah.
yeah,
Somehow, like in the bull market, I got, you know, I was doing all my threads, and when I had more time, probably to actually like, you know, think about things thoughtfully and, you know, put out content. But yeah, I was pretty lucky to, you know, get a fairly decent following back there. So yeah, who knows?
Yeah, so basically, I mean, I got in at that very beginning of 2021. I mean, obviously, I'm older. My background's business, you know, actually in a very scientific field, pharmaceutical, food safety, that type of thing. And I founded a business. I've been in operations and various management roles, senior management in businesses, but I founded my own business 22 years ago. And in a way, it's completely different but similar, because I created a community based around a discussion forum based around food safety and pharma, and then that enabled me to sell products, you know, training materials, publications. Then moved on to webinars, conferences, and memberships, and you know, it just grew from there. And you know, it became the biggest in the world, really. So building a community, and then and all that entails, and obviously running a business, all aspects of every process, and of that I'm very experienced. So, but when I got into the space, actually, you probably don't know, but I started to think, because I'm like a builder at heart, built business and things, started a thing called the punk charts. And so each week I did a chart of different punks, Beanie, Art Chick, 4156, all of these prominent people, and depending on who was releasing something decent that week, whether it was something to do with Pixel Vault, then I myself decided this top 10 chart, and I even minted the NFT for the first place, like a disc, you know, a record disc, and it was really good fun and created a bit of a community and a buzz within the punks, and I got to know a lot of those punks, and then just started diving into projects, you know, like the minted Bored Apes and all the Pixel Vault stuff that I've still got now, you know, rode them all up and down. NFT Worlds, rode them all up, I've still got them now, never sell anything. Wizards, you name it. But then obviously got involved with well, it was the Boring Ape Chronicles at the start of the story, in July 21, and we've been together ever since.
Joey, you've got to have some nice bags there, man. Even though you round tripped them, you've got some nice stuff tucked away in the vault there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit and wait and see what happens, because you never know. And I did take some profits, don't get me wrong, but you know.
Hey man, I'm confident. I think things will come back, and I think a lot of things that are being fudded right now will be just fine. That I really do. Just, you know, we just need people.
It is strange, because you know, you see those at the top of OpenSea or whatever that are getting the bits of volume and are getting the attention and got the higher floor prices, but there's so many projects and so many teams that are grinding away in the background, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. And yeah, things will pop up and out and you'll be like, wow, where have they been? And they'll just release something. And like you say, when there's more people in the space as well, then things should boom. But yeah, we're just happy to be holding on by the skin of our teeth and just, keep building every day and having fun.
Yeah, I think it pays dividends, like the projects now building and really trying to build value back to the community. And like Joey says, there's so many different projects that may not get like the credit that they deserve, or like I feel like like the top OpenSea in volume, obviously like it's a key proponent. Like the space is built up of traders, but like in the long run, like you guys just mentioned in there, I think all of these projects that are really putting in like the heart and soul into it, it'll reflect positively soon enough, I'm sure of that.
You mentioned something interesting, that a lot of, there are a ton of builders out there that just don't really get the recognition or the credit for what they're bringing to the space. And it's like anything else, any other business category. It's 99% of businesses fail. And it really is about, can you bring everything together and kind of get that winning formula? So you definitely need really good art, and you need to bring innovation and new mechanics into the space that keep people's attention. But then you also have to build a really kind of unique community that people want to make their home base in the NFT world and want to participate in every single day, right? And I think you guys have done all of that. And I'd just be interested to know, Timpers, looking back at everything that's been created now, could you even imagine, based off of where it started, that this was going to be the journey that you were going to be executing? What were you thinking when you first got started?
Yeah, it's been a crazy journey so far. It's been wild. Started off just releasing some one-of-one art pieces. When I first joined the space, I didn't expect much. I didn't really know too much. I did some research, but it was still really early. So I just wanted to make sure that I get in there and just see what's going on. Because a lot of people that I knew on Twitter, artists, was also exploring the NFT space. And I just felt left out, like not checking it out. There was just too many people. People like getting invitations for Foundation and Super Rare, and I was like, what are these platforms? Because at the time I was doing graphics, branding and things, so it's a known thing. It's not easy as an artist or graphic designer making money. So when I saw my first piece, that was just incredible, because making art is what I want to do. It's what I really, it's my passion. It's all I care about. So as soon as I saw that first piece, it really it was incredible. But yeah, from there, I just wanted to keep expanding and building and reaching out to people, making a name for myself in the space, but also connecting with other artists and seeing what can be built in this space. And of course, I did some work with the Bored Apes, because I had a Bored Ape at the time. I thought, what could I do with this ape to take it to the next level? So I made the Boring Ape Chronicles, which was an episode artwork, like linked artwork episodes that told a story about the Bored Apes, where people could feature their apes in the artwork. And it's just a way to take the JPEG and do something cool for the community that people can get involved in. And it's not just a JPEG. There's more to it. And Gordon and Gargamel really liked that, I think, because eventually Gordon actually messaged me asking if I could do some art for the Rolling Stone Bored Ape magazine, which was insane. It was just incredible, that. And just stuff like that. It was at the time when I did that, not many people was making stories about profile pictures and bringing them to life and stuff. So it was kind of quite new, and a lot of people was really excited about it. So doing stuff like that really opened up opportunities, and I could connect with people. And eventually, I worked with on the nouns. 4156 did the tweet, and a lot of people was just shouting me out and tagging me in. So yeah, that's what got me my attention for the nouns project. And eventually 4156 messaged me, and we began like talking about what I could do to take part in the nouns project. And yeah, I did other things like working with RTFKT, artifacts. I always say RTFKT. And yeah, just joining the NFT space and exploring it and connecting, it just opened up opportunities that I never thought that I'd be able to be part of, because obviously before it was just me on my own, just doing graphics. But I've always been fond of characters, pixel art. That's what it's all about. Old retro great games and the old characters and stuff is what really inspires me. So I wanted to make my own project, which was Chimpers. And then it all spiraled from there, because Jacob got involved and Joey, and we just started to build something really cool. And yeah, that's pretty much how things rolled out.
Just to say, I mean, I think you came from a community building background as well, because you neglected to say that you know, when you're doing your graphic art, you had your YouTube channel with tutorials and things, and you grew to 40,000. And on Twitter, being in the gaming scene, I think you had about 10,000 followers. So you came into this space with a bit of prominence. And I think Loopify bought your first piece, didn't it, on the foundation. And then the other aspect is when you did start the Boring Ape Chronicles quest for the Diamond Fleece, that at that time there wasn't any utility for owning a Bored Ape BAYC, let's say. So to actually see it come to life in an artwork and be part of a story, everyone was wanting to be featured. And that, because then they were selling at 100 editions, that actually formed the nucleus of a really, really powerful community, because the biggest and strongest and collectors in the space were in on the project, if not from mint, on secondary, and then obviously wanted to collect the full series as it went on. So
it was only going to be just one artwork at the beginning. It was just meant to be one shout out big art piece, like homage, shouting out other apes and stuff. But people was actually wanting more, and that's kind of what started the whole series, the 6 artwork series, the quest for the Diamond Fleece.
Yeah, I think the timing was just impeccable, right? Like looking back at it, you've got Bored Apes that just mint out, and they're the hottest thing in NFTs, and PFPs are really just starting to kind of grow into their own for a utility of being on Twitter and being a representation of who you are in this community. But as you stated, Joey, there wasn't really any additional utility known at the time. So this idea of getting your own personal ape, your own personal brand indoctrinated into this artwork, into this story. I remember being around during that time, and I remember the craze. People really, really wanted to be featured really badly. Yeah. So, and you're right, the prominent collectors were all there, you know, supporting this project because they saw what kind of community building it was doing for Bored Apes as a whole, and your little community that you were building, and then you would spin off into Chimpers. What was the thought process and the conversation like about Chimpers? Because I don't feel like it's just like a copy paste PFP project. There seems to be a lot of thought, and I don't know if it came after the fact or before, but a lot of thought of like the direction that you would like to head with this intellectual property that you created.
Shall I speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you should.
Well, it's the Boring Ape Chronicles was story based, and obviously they went on the quest for the Diamond Fleece, and it led them to the portal, which was the entry into the Chimpverse. And we're all massive fans of stories, lore, adventure, and we had massive inspiration from many different games, films, art, and everything. Like Lord of the Rings, for example, going on adventures, exploring worlds and things. So we wanted to incorporate that into Chimpers and really build out a huge world that people would just really want to be part of. For example, we've got the dojo, which is the home of the Chimpers. They train there, they level up, and we've got Master Chimpo, the sensei, who teaches them everything. He's the wise guy. And yeah, we've just got a lore behind everything. So it's not just you're collecting a character profile picture, you're actually in a world that will forever expand. And
I don't think it was I was just gonna say, I don't think it was like an easy like choice, like harking back to when you was creating the characters. I don't think it was like, right, okay, we'll do this. I think, didn't you like experiment, trial? I'm sure I remember like some prototypes being like dogs, like bears, like silly little things like that. But I think it came to it like, our roots, and was given this like opportunity to build community with the Bored Apes, a primate to follow up with that, Chimpers, although it's not a chimp, it's got a tail, and it's a little bit different. I think it probably just felt right to opt with that kind of character, building upon like what we'd already done with the apes, but opening up this new world that made sense. But yeah,
going back to in the gaming scene though as well, the Phase 5 competition, you did characters like Timpers got into, there was a competition to get into Phase clan, and so there was thousands and thousands of people trying to get in it, and Timpers got into the top 100, but even after that he didn't make it to the top 20. As people were getting through, the winners, he was creating characters on a podium of those people, and the characters are so cool. And I think that's been one of your fortes, Oliver, is character creation. And even like before Chimpers, you were doing mock-ups of like, post this and I'll do a mock-up of you in a Cool Cat style. So I think you've always been amazing at characters, and the Chimpers characters themselves. The Genesis came out first, the 100 Genesis, and I think most people have seen them now because I'm always posting them like animated, bouncing up and down. They're the most, when you see them together, they are the most amazing character collections. So eclectic and different and vibrant and colourful and retro, and
they've all got their own backstory as well.
Yeah, they've all got their own backstories. And then the Chimpers to come from them. The amount of time, I think you spent 3 months on the Genesis and 6 months on the Chimpers. And this was in a time when projects were coming out within a couple of weeks to get on, take advantage of what was happening in the space, really, because it was a huge boom. And Timpers took his time. He took 6 months to do them Chimpers, and we're so glad now, looking back. We may have missed some of the bull market, but when you look at what we've got as a base IP and characters there now, is well worth it. They're amazing.
It's one of the kind of few handful of successful PFP projects that were really born from an artist forward point of view and leadership. And I think, you always get that story when you talk to these artists that are going to release PFP projects, that they spent months and months and months, and it's a different level of care for the intellectual property that they're creating, because it is, completely their own, and it represents, their talent and their point of view and what they want to build. One of the things that I found impressive, after the launch and the mint out and the reveal, the community just every day got stronger and stronger. But then not to just like skip ahead, but I felt like you guys were doing a lot of stuff before other people were doing it, or you're doing it more successfully, like deciding, hey, we're going to build out our own marketplace for Chimpers and add all of these things on our own website to kind of create our own ecosystem, which I think was a great move. And then, PFPs aren't just meant to sit there. You have a lot of lore that you wanted to celebrate. So let's create the dojo and give, the community something to participate in on a daily basis that can, make sure that, we're continuing the story. And then the little adventures on the side, like how did those decisions come about that you wanted to continue? Was it very community led? Were there a lot of ideas from the community, or you guys just always saw that, there was going to be this kind of ongoing work in the background to further the IP?
I was just gonna say, I think like with the Boring Ape Chronicles, obviously that was like over several months. Like Joey was saying, we was like being quite delicate with the time, and we've always said that we've been very intentional with like the steps that we take, and we don't want to rush into things and think things through, and kind of observe like what's going on, what's working, what could we potentially do. And I think like with that time and kind of opportunity to think about what could work, it's we decided that look, we can't just launch something. There's got to be like substance behind it. There's got to be like people say, like we're launching a collection, there's this whole world behind it, and we're gonna release all of this, but we want it to be like at a point in time where we can like show people and prove to them like, look, this is our idea and this is what we're going to do and execute on it. So I think with the dojo, like I don't know how quickly we decided on that, but I think prior to Chimpers or like during it, that's when we said, and look, we need to create this community hub. Like for the past several months, we've incubated this community of just 100 people collecting these artworks. And we like drew parallels with that with Chimpers, just on a larger level. Like, let's create a dojo instead of a Discord or Twitter where people can, come to every single day, have fun, and make an experience out of it. Like you say, there should be something that you can do every single day. And I think, we definitely like pride ourselves. Chimpers is like a project that is doing something every single week. There's new things to do, get involved with, and just in general, like making it an experience for the holders, really.
I love the way you guys did it too, because there is something to do every day, but you don't have to do something every day. So the community isn't handcuffed to going into the dojo. I pop in there at least a few times a week because I like to watch the fights, and I love the adventure board game. I think that's super fun because you roll and you can win. You can get into raffles and win prizes and things like that. And for me, I love that, and it's really key that you don't lock people into it because a lot just want to stake and chill, right?
that was exactly it. I mean, obviously we were going to do staking, rightly or wrongly. We chose to do staking, but we didn't want it to be just a mechanical process. We always wanted to build an experience, and it's strange how things come about because Chimpers rhymes with Timpers, and that's actually how it got the name Chimpers. And in fact, I don't know if the name came before the characters. I can't even remember, to be honest.
I don't know.
Can you?
Just
Sure. So anyway, we have a lot of ideas all the time, and once we'd come up with the dojo, and we said, right, okay, what happens in the dojo? You train, and when you're strong enough to train, then you can fight, and when you can fight, then you can go out on adventures and pillage and have fun and explore. And then we just built it along those lines, and it's funny, the actual going back, sometimes you do something in the past and it doesn't work, or it just gathers dust. But actually the adventure board game I presented as an idea to one of the major punks back at the time as a different type of adventure, and it didn't go anywhere. But I always thought this could work. And anyway, that's how that fitted together. And yeah, I think one thing that has stood us in good stead and kept us above water, really, and not above water, thriving, I'd say, and doing okay, is that being engaged with the community, being there every day in the trenches, in Discord and Twitter and GMing and everything, and having fun and etc. And having the dojo as a place where you can, do things, win rewards, but take the mickey out of each other and all things like that. It's, in a way, it's not simple, it's not easy because it takes some effort, but I think it's authentic with us and natural that we just enjoy doing it. And then that actually, it keeps everybody on board. And I think some projects, they miss a trick if they don't do the basics, which is being involved in being present and communicating.
Yeah, so for me, I think there's a few things. I think the dojo and the board games are brilliant because I just went and checked, and I've had my chimp staked for 360 days. I couldn't tell you that that's how long it's been in there, right? Or that's how long it's been on the journey, which is excellent because I myself go in there a couple times a week as well, and then I go and participate in the board games. But it doesn't feel like a stale staking mechanism because that's not what it is at all. But it also gives you a mechanism to be able to interact with your community, give them something to look forward to, but you're not having to launch another NFT. You're not having to dilute your IP, and you can work on the expansion of that outside of it while still giving your community something to do. And then to your point, I think one of the biggest things that people miss in this space is that you have to, as founders, you have to be involved every day. Even a simple GM answering a couple questions, joking around to the community on a daily basis, it builds such rapport. And that's how you get these tight-knit communities that are willing to, understand that it takes time to build, and they're not just sitting there saying, when's the next thing? When's the next time you're going to do something for me? And these many adventures are perfect because there's enough rewarding mechanisms within them that people want to play. But like Byrne said, it's great that like people that don't want to participate on a daily or weekly basis are still included in what's going on, and can jump back into the community ecosystem anytime they want.
Yeah. I just remember back when we was creating it as well with Manifold, it was like, it felt like such a long time, like going backwards and forwards. Like, I don't know how many hours we must have spent even like brainstorming and trying to like come up with the mechanics of it, the game, the gamification and the levels, the whole thing really. It took a long time, and I feel like we are very we do take maybe sometimes a little too long coming up with it, but I think with the dojo we were so particular, it kind of, it definitely worked in the end with, there's so much to do, and just build on really and continue to add to, even with the adventures, the rewards that we like add in each time, even from the maps. Like obviously there's like the first one was like a grassy themed, the second one was, God, I can't even remember now, but we're on fire now, and then there's going to be a nature themed one, and tailoring the rewards to make sense to those and introducing new things, whether it's toys, merchandise, artworks from Timpers, like collaboration artworks like you mentioned with OSF, and just continually making it, more exciting. And, there's no like end to adding on top of that really. So
and the trading, the cards as well, the trading cards, people love them as well. So I mean, yeah, and ultimately we neglected to mention that the adventures, there are 6 adventures in this series that go hand in hand with the 6 artworks that are being released for Chimpers Chronicles 2. So on adventure 1, you play the board game, you can go through it and win rewards, but at the end we release chapter 1 artwork and chapter 1 story, which chapter 1 was 10,000 words. So we're creating an ebook throughout this that's narrated as well. So we've got like this English actor who's narrating it. So we're creating through the adventures, we're creating an artwork story, which is Chimpers Chronicles 2 as well. So yeah, and if you click that arcade machine there, those that can't see it, but if you click that arcade, we've got 7 now arcade games on there that again they do cost money, but it's relatively low cost, and it's really great to fill a gap in between each adventure. So with whatever we do, we're always consciously trying to engage the community and keep everybody having fun.
All right, well, I won't play because the noise will just like blow everyone away.
Yeah,
I was thinking that.
The music's crazy.
Yeah, these games are great, man. I love the way that, and you guys reward us for playing the games, right? I won the episode 1 for playing. I won a raffle, and I like the way that you guys are releasing the episodes. Like right now, you can't just pump out supply, right, in this market. You can't. So you guys are doing smaller editions of the episodes, which, the core community is going to want to collect. And what your plans are with all this, who knows, for the future. Maybe you can drop some alpha or something. I don't know, but they're fun to collect either way. I mean, you get super cool art. I can change my screen and show some of these, but
yeah. I mean, obviously, the dojo. So this series we're on. We've finished. We're on episode 4 of 6. So in a few days, we'll be starting Adventure 5. That'll lead us to episode 5, artwork and story. And then we'll do 6. So we should be finished with this series probably end of September, beginning of October. And then there will be a series 3, who that's with, because the first one was with Board Ape Yacht Club. The second one is that led us to the Chimpers, and then we'll have been on episode 2 with the Chimpers, series 2, and then series 3. Yeah, watch this space for who that's going to be with. So, like you say, we're lucky by the nature of our project that artwork is non-dilutive and it's meaningful as well. People like to collect art. There's a story behind it. It's part of a series. It's by Chimpers, the amazing nouns artist, etc. And people can sell it. If you want to sell it, you sell it or keep it, and people do trade it. And some of the bigger collectors, win multiple copies and sell their artwork and buy another Chimpers to go raiding on the next adventure.
Yeah, I was on the Tuesday last week with your community, and we were talking about these episodes, and I just bought. I've got all the newer ones. I can't afford the OG ones, but I bought them all, so I have one of each. I'm going to collect all of them, just because the artwork is super sick. I mean, that's like, these are so fucking cool, dude.
Appreciate it.
I really like these. So yeah, and it's something, you collect the whole set. I don't care about the price. Like, I'm obviously bullish on Chimpers, but I mean, these are super cool, and they're relatively low supply as well.
Yeah. So we've got a vehicle with the dojo, the whole experience and the adventuring and the series Chimpers Chronicles. We've got a vehicle there that we can run but iterate and improve and make it different and expand it and work with different IPs, let's say, as well as the story was from Board Ape Yacht Club to Chimpers. Maybe we might meet other IPs in future adventures, which would be great.
I know.
Sorry?
I know I know who's next. I think I do.
Go on. Who do you know that? Give us the alpha, Bern.
I'm going to say it's probably Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Master Splinter. Maybe Shredder shows up. I don't know. I've
never heard of them. I don't even know. Are they some sort of like tortoises or something?
They work at a pizza shop.
Who knows what will happen?
Yeah, who knows? So we've got that, but also you will know that in it's no secret. Jake could probably tell you about the expansion into the socials on Instagram and TikTok and why we did that and what we're doing there, etc.
Yes.
Because, you want to explain that, Jacob?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. No, so like with Chimpers, obviously, I think everyone knows like in the space, like right now we're at a point, yeah, it's a bear market and where everyone's building, but there's not enough people, and there genuinely is so many like exciting IPs like in the space right now that can like seriously grow. It's just like looking back in hindsight, it makes perfect sense. Maybe not in 2021, people probably wouldn't have even thought that it'd be something to do, like expand your IP into Web 2 and expand outside of this bubble. It's not something that everybody will have zoomed in on. It's like all in Web 3, but they go hand in hand really nicely, and it makes complete sense when you think about it to expand outside of the bubble. Like we've got this amazing community that can help propel us to amazing heights. There's probably brands out there that don't have this kind of like audience, like retention and support and like commitment to out of anyone really. So yeah, like we've always said since we launched Chimpers that we want to be like creating it not just as like an experience-based project, but a multimedia brand where we can explore like different avenues. And I think it was a few months ago we thought, okay, like, sit down, like how can we really do this? And there's amazing projects in the space doing that now, like Pudgy Penguins, Doodles, Cool Cats, Beans, all of them are exploring those avenues now. And it started with just thinking about Chimpers as a mascot and thinking how can we take this character, this IP that Chimpers has created, and send it out to the masses and get some audience enjoying outside of Web3. So there's so many character brands on Instagram, TikTok, all of these social media platforms that are unknown to like the Web3 community. And yeah, just it started from there and was like, okay, let's create some reels, see how it goes, create a foundation of story around Chimpers, Chimpy, the dojo, the characters that are involved in the reels, and yeah, taking it from there. And we didn't really expect much from it at first, but after like consistency, like the socials team, Maz, Kit Kat, and Lulu, our artists, pumping out amazing content every single day, and appealing to the masses with this line art, which is different from the pixel art, but it was an approach we took because it's friendly, it's inviting, especially for the audiences on those platforms. And Chimpers doesn't have to be like boxed into one style or kind of like audience. Like you say, we wanted to expand all demographics, and I think Instagram and TikTok is just a great like incubator to do that. And Pudgies have set out like the kind of journey that you can be, you can take these NFT projects on alongside building the Web3 community. And I think that's very much what we're pursuing. From
and that's, I think to me that just shows like the business intelligence behind the team and understanding that you guys have spent this time in the NFT space cultivating a community and an intellectual property, but understanding that markets change and there needs to be this dynamic interaction between Web 2 and Web 3. I think when everybody got involved, we said we were going to push a Web 3 narrative, and it was going to be the future without any interaction with what kind of Web 2. And now we're discovering that that's really not the case, that there is going to be this give and take, and that if you want to succeed as a project, that there are so many opportunities and avenues outside of Web 3 that you can be utilizing to be creative and to be innovative for your community and to lead your community and bring new people into what you've been working on. So I think that's the way that that major projects in this space are going to stay alive. And I give you guys a lot of kudos for, you know, recognizing that, you know, early and going out there and doing the work, instead of just like hunkering down and say, no, we're just going to be this kind of Web3 project that stagnates because of, you know, how the market is today.
Yeah, you know, sorry, go ahead.
You go ahead, Jacob. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, you know, like the Web2 audience, like now it's a long-term journey, and like I said, if they go hand in hand, it makes perfect sense for us to, you know, like release products for everyone and rally both communities together to like drive the brand and IP forwards as like a unit, as opposed to, you know, single-handedly trying to do it in, you know, a more small and condensed bubble. And we did that in the first year with the Bored Ape Chronicles. We, you know, like galvanized this community of like, you know, hardcore fans, and you know, it kind of spiraled around Chimpers now. And you know, the next step is taking it even further than that. And you know, as Joey says, like a Chimpers in every home and every hand, and we, you know, actively pursuing, you know, whether it's like franchise teams to help us grow the brand, you know, merchandising, all of these things that we've got in the plans to help, you know, take Chimpers not just as an NFT project, but more than that, and working, you know, simultaneously with each other to, yeah, bring value back to not just the character brand, but the community too. So yeah, that's kind of the broader goal.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you know, again, we haven't sold anything since Chimpers. We haven't sold a single thing since Chimpers, and the temptation is to rush something out and do something, but we've been very careful with the brand and how it's grown, and everything to be the highest quality. And I think our forte has been the art, and on that, building experiences and community and an emotional attachment to the brand that then is absolutely rock solid. And then we're taking that approach with the Web2 side, and as Jacob said, you know, we will be bringing products out and growing. That's our aim, to just keep growing and then bringing cool products, cool experiences, utilizing whether it be in Web2, Web3, and taking us all on a journey and an adventure of exploration with this brand that we love.
Yeah, I think being a great steward of your brand is so important, especially from your community. I'm not pinpointing any one project, but I do feel like, you know, consistently dipping back into your same community to extract funds to continue your project can be very detrimental in the long run. If you're not providing something that's innovative or reaching a new set of people that you can onboard into your community. So I think that, you know, you guys are doing it right. I can't say it any other way. And as a member of the community, I appreciate that, and it makes me want to continue to be around, because I think you guys not only have the best interest in what you're creating, it's always of value, but you have the best interest of taking care of your community members that have been there from the beginning, while you're finding new mechanisms to onboard new people into the Chimpers universe. So for that, I commend you, because a lot of projects, they see the ability to just launch something else, launch another NFT, bring in more capital. Yes, it's easier. It gives you more runway. But in the long run, it could be very detrimental to the project. And my wife is letting everybody know she thinks I'm very gorgeous. Burn.
You're a heartthrob, dude.
It's
I mean,
true.
I get messages from girls all the time, like they just blow me up. They're like, introduce me. I'm like, he's married to Sarah. It's not gonna happen.
Burn, what do you got to say, man?
I I love it, man. I love the way so I think a lot of people overlook the value of your IP blast, I'll call it, into Web 2, hitting up Insta, TikTok, how you're Trojan horsing your way into the normies. You're building brand recognition. I think that's extremely valuable. You're not coming out and saying, "Hey, we're an NFT project," right? Because that's like the last thing you want to do. It's going to turn people off right away. You're just sharing the brand, right? And I think that's absolutely brilliant. I think the comparison to Pudgy Penguins is a good one for sure, with the route you're taking. I don't know why. I don't really understand why Chimpers isn't getting as much or more recognition than Pudgy's. I think you guys are doing great, but I see you on that same level, and I think the potential is absolutely massive. You've got a nice partnership. I don't know if it's called technically a partnership, but you've got a collaboration with Paramount, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's a massive deal. If you guys get to the point where you've got television shows, you've got movies, you've got this content out there, you become an absolute powerhouse from a merch perspective in toys and things like that. And that's where I see this going. And I think Chimpers is, I mean, you get great recognition, but I think you're still overlooked. I think you guys should be, yeah.
I think one of our weaknesses in the space has probably been marketing ourselves, showing, because obviously all of this stuff is hidden in the dojo, and you're in your own community bubble and you're tweeting out, but you find then that you're talking to somebody who's not in your community and they've never heard of Chimpers, and it's like, you're in Web3, and we think blinkered that everybody knows who Chimpers are, and they don't. So we recognized that a few months ago, and made some strategic partnerships, like, for example, we're sponsoring Beachx newsletter, and also with Nate now with the weekly recap videos. So not only, and it's amazing actually, even in the few weeks that he's been doing it, I'm thinking at the start of the week, what's going to be in this video this week? And it's jam-packed full of stuff. It's like we've released another game, the Nouns partnership for the animation, and in real life meetup here, and there's so much going on. So I think having those videos, and actually those will be an archive on YouTube as well, so when people do look in the future, they can see our track record. But also Nate's doing deep dives into, let's say, the dojo, and we've asked him also, he's going to do like an overarching video that explains the whole ecosystem of how it all fits together, Chimpers Chronicles and your Chimpers character, and Pixel Timpers Pixel Works and things like that. So, but also we don't have a charismatic leader as such. We don't. We're not on spaces all the time. We haven't got that, and some projects have, and it does work very effectively. So we just grind away and build and show by doing, and what we're delivering, and over time what we produce will speak for itself, really. But we are trying actively to market more and get ourselves out there and showcase what we're doing.
Yeah, I love it. And really part of the reality right now is just nobody wants to buy NFTs at all. Like, nobody wants to.
That's true.
But you guys are holding up extremely well on that note. I mean, when you compare to some others, I'm not talking bad about any projects, but you're holding up very, very well.
Yeah, I was going to say as well, like, just off the back of like, are we being overlooked or not? I think we do a lot of amazing things. Like, there's nuggets of it, every single week, like Joey said there. And like with the video content now, like, it's, in real time, we can see like just exactly what's going on behind the doors. But yeah, I think it's just a case of, continually proving ourselves. And I think like you can have some luck and you can, be grinding, but I think, yeah, we definitely are going to continue to prove and like show why Chimpers perhaps should be like at the top. And yeah, that's obviously the goal anyway.
So I think you guys have so much going for you, right? Like right now, it's an attention economy, and there's just no attention anywhere to go around. But you have a small supply for a PFP project. The art is absolutely incredible and very well done. Every single step you guys have taken from a project perspective seems to be meticulously planned and executed. And you guys are still putting out, great content. So I think Joey's right. Like, just keep doing what you're doing, and eventually it'll speak for itself. Because having a hype or FOMO person out there every day, it's hard to create that FOMO unless you're diluting your IP or doing something that doesn't probably serve your community down the road. So yeah, just keep your head down, keep building, man. I love what you guys are doing. I do think you have a rock star in Timpers. I mean, he's very famous online. Everybody knows who he is. So if you need to create hype, just get him out there, and he could do something.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
we need to milk you more, Timpers.
That's a Chimpo.
Stop training the students and get out on Twitter, man.
One thing I could say though is that whether it's the pixel art version of Chimpers, and even the traits from those Chimpers OG are coming into the Web 2 as little characters. So whether I look at the OG pixel art or the line art that we're doing on Instagram and TikTok, in any format of a physical thing, whether that be clothing, trading cards, games, movies, you name it, they would be sought after by me even. They just got the it factor, I think, those. And so it goes back to Timpers. The time that he spent on the Genesis and the Chimpers 5555 low supply, it will serve in 5, 10. Those characters are like your TMNTs. To me, they are lightning in a bottle, and it's hats off to Timpers because he is the center of this universe. Let's go. It's true. It's not...
We got to rate. We got to do a rating.
Okay.
I mean, how can you rate perfection, man?
We rate everybody.
I know.
You guys biased.
I'll go first. I'll go first. I think it's an incredible project. I think you guys have executed really, really well at every single level. It starts with banger art and continues with execution. And you just see that every time something comes out, and your community is top notch. It's one of the best in the NFT space. And I'm always excited to see what's coming next, and excited to participate in this community for years to come. So for me, I mean, I think I don't know anything else you could be doing that you're not already doing. The only thing, I'm kind of a blockchain maxi, so if the art was all on chain, that would be like my only criticism. But I know that it's very difficult to do or very cost prohibitive to do, depending on the art. So for me, I'm gonna give my highest score 9.8. I love you guys. Keep doing what you're doing, and you're welcome to come back on RugRoast anytime.
Beautiful. Yeah, and if you guys do want to go on chain, I know some people who can help you. So let me know, and I can make a connection. But yeah, so let's start at the beginning. The Bored Ape Chronicles, I think, was a great way to really, without even a plan of like, hey, let's launch a 10K PFP and just milk the market. It's perfect. You started with some great IP and some great art. You let that develop into a full-blown story. You let the IP kind of just grow from there. Then you had the Chimpers mint, and you kept supply low. You could have easily minted. You could have done 10K, and you guys could have made a shitload of money. But instead of doing that, you protected the community and you protected the brand. And you did, I think, what's it, like 5,400, 5,200, something like that. 5,500, that's what it was. But yeah, so you went with a lower supply, which from an investor perspective, I love that. The art is absolutely sick. Timpers, you're a legend. I think next to OSF, I own more of your art than anyone else. I do have like 30 Degens codes, so but the art's absolutely sick. I like the way that you're expanding into Web 2, a little Trojan horse style, just putting out great content and just, letting it spread, staying on top of it that way. The dojo setup's perfect. You don't have to participate. You can if you want. And I find it fun. I like going in there and watching the battles and doing the board game and playing the arcade games as well. So you're keeping the community engaged without forcing them to be engaged, which to me is really valuable. And I think the IP is, I think it's marketable. Like when you look at scale, you can make a really cool show out of this that, whether it's a kid's show or not, you can make a super cool show out of this. You can make a movie, and you can make a lot of other stuff, toys and merch and all that. So I think you guys are crushing it. I think that the team, you guys are smart. You're doing it the right way. So I'm going to give you a 9.81, which is one better than 2160, because I like to one up them. I think you're perfect.
We'll take it. We'll take that. And just to say that, like you're in the Rec Guide community with OSF and Mando. Projects like that, we absolutely love and respect those guys because they were, back there in the day, and we like us, we've got a really good work ethic, and they have, and they're always thinking and pivoting and changing and iterating and always doing it for the community, and what they're building as well with the platform, etc. Amazing. So we look out and respect all these communities, and we're all in it together. We're not fighting against each other. So, and I've just followed you. I didn't realize I wasn't following you. 2160. So
I checked on the DMs with 2160, and I remember I sent you a very early version of my pixel art. I don't know if you've still got that DM, but the monkey. When I first joined the space, we always joke about this, but as Timpers was creating nouns, I downloaded Photoshop, and I was like, how do I get good at pixel art? I want to try it out, and I drew my profile picture.
It could be worth something. Could be worth something that.
Isn't it?
Yeah, on chain as well, maybe.
Yeah, I still have the DMs, man. We were definitely chatting back and forth. That's awesome.
1 of 1 by Insight. It's got to be worth 0.05.
Yeah, it's not like Timpers, no. But
no,
I did help you with it, I think, didn't I? Or was that something else?
No, you did not help me.
No.
It was all me. Yeah. No, and I was just going to say, I also appreciate the scores. It's very humbling to hear it as well from you guys that we respect. We very tunnel vision, and hearing really positive feedback, and it's really appreciated. I was going to say, what would be one thing that you would like to see us do, as a different, feedback? You've scored us, but what would be something that you'd like to see from Chimpers?
To get that 0.19.
Yeah, I mean, for me,
to get a 10.
For me, that it'll always be the on-chain art. Even I bust OSF balls about the art not being on-chain. I just believe as a Web3 native project, it really is the grail of ensuring that the art is going to be around for as long as Ethereum will be around. So that for me is really the only thing that you guys are missing from my perspective. I think everything else you guys are diligently working, and I truly am. This is one of the projects that I truly am excited to see. What you guys release every time you kind of send out a Twitter tweet. I'm like, man, they are just they're on the ball, and they really understand the vision and how to proceed as a project while being great stewards of the IP that they created and the community that they are involved in every day. So that's the only thing that I could recommend.
I would say, yeah, on chain it for sure would be super dope. And again, I can introduce you to someone on that if it's something you're interested in.
Yeah.
But also, I think if you guys had a spaces, like a weekly spaces with the founders to be more visible. If you want to be a Rug Radio show, I could help make that happen. You know, you get a little more power behind it that way. But I think, I think just like, I don't know, you guys do a great job marketing, but like hearing more from the founders, and like if you had a super simple infographic, like showing here's what we have, here's what we're planning. I hate to use the word roadmap because it's so cringy, but like just a nice infographic. Here's what we've done. Here's where we're going, and you know, really push that marketing to the NFT space.
That's true. That I
was
mean,
just about to. Sorry, go on,
Jake.
Joey.
No, go on, Jacob.
I was just gonna say, like the whole community initiatives, we've been really trying to push like inwardly, like from the community, champion them. And we created like Chimpers champions, like for in real life meetups. You know, there's somebody from each region that's the champion there to help facilitate meetups, and you know, whether it's like getting merch from us that we send out to those meetups, etc. And now, like with the dojo, we've got like a private channel where there's a lot of amazing community members and Chimpers that like give without having us to ask. So, you know, championing them even more and like giving them a platform to do these things, whether it's spaces on Tuesday or spaces on Friday, once a day, or even other community activations. Like we've got a poker night in Discord now with rewards and things like that. So that's actually one thing that we was thinking of, an infographic to, you know, showcase what's going on each week in the Chimpverse, but also on top of that, like like you said there, Bern, like higher level.
Yeah, I mean,
and even if it's like you guys writing threads on your philosophy of Chimpers overall, and then like just talking shit with people on Twitter, like you see some of these, you know, like getting into their tweets and just, you know, the back and forth banter. I think that goes a really long way.
Reply guy.
A reply guy.
Yeah, exactly.
they're all both of you have made very good points, good feedback, and on chain art. Yeah, we'd like to know if you've got a contact. We can look into that. Rug Radio Spaces, that sounds very interesting. It really does. You know. And like we say, this has been the weak area, communication and marketing, I guess. And so,
well, your marketing
we've made some strides. But,
your marketing material is amazing. I think that, you know, the videos and stuff that you guys put out from an artistic perspective are incredible. So I don't think that is the issue. I think you correctly identified it earlier as like your marketing to your internal community. And so finding a way to get out to external communities to bring new people in, that's the education process that I think Bern is talking about, like a higher level infographic so that people can get caught up on everything you guys have executed because you've done so much, right? And so I think that would actually go a long way.
Yeah, and get to know these guys, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, free consulting, hit me up anytime, brother. I got you. And Joey, touch base will be. We'll connect on the on-chain stuff too. It's not cheap, but you know.
I know.
Yeah.
We did look at it a long time ago, but we didn't really pursue it. But yeah, it would be nice to do.
All right. Well, I appreciate all of you jumping on a Friday to walk our community through, you know, what is going on at Chimpers. Bern, you got any last words before we maybe let Joey, Timpers, and Insights say a little few words to their community or ours, and we'll get out of here.
Keep crushing it, man. You guys are doing really good. You're one of the. I mean, it's like you guys, D-Gens, Rec Guy, and Rug Radio are like the three projects that like I'm in, and so keep doing a great job. I think you guys are you're absolutely smoking it, and I'm really excited to see what's to come and see if I'm right about my guess for the next season. So yeah, I love it.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Do you want to say a few words, Timpers?
Yeah, appreciate you having us on. It's been really good. massive fan of Rex Guy, of course, and yeah, we're just doing cool stuff during this bear market, keeping people engaged, cool experiences, and yeah, we're just going to keep building and carrying on with this story that we've got going on.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I think there needs to be like a Wrecked Guy, Chimpers collaboration or something, like event-wise, meetup. Especially like in the UK, there's a lot of holders here. But yeah, no, 100%. Appreciate it as well. You guys are awesome. So yeah, thank you for having us on. It's been really fun.
Yeah, likewise. Just appreciate you having us on, and love what you do and what Rug Radio, Rec Guys, DJs, everything. Yeah, so we're just really happy, and yeah, you've given us some good feedback as well as praise. So appreciate it, and we're all going to make it, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we
We'll
can-
definitely make it. All right. Well, happy Friday, everybody. Burn, you want to roll us out?
Yeah, let me put on our partial song again.
Let's go.
Let's go. I love it.
It's kind of nice being not on camera. I can like just kind of slouch down.
How
realize.
could it be a host and not be on camera?
You know, I'm a
I didn't even
boomer, man.
realize.
The tech kills me.
Inside says he didn't even realize. He didn't miss your face at all.
No, as in, I've just not even. I didn't even think that you wasn't on Facebook.